Writers, the reason I asked you that question, besides the fact that I'm curious, is that I've been thinking a lot about how our writers' notebooks will go this year. You've probably had a writer's notebook before, but this year, I want you to take your notebook even more seriously and make sure that the passions you really care about are inside them. I'm suggesting that you should be using your notebook in the ways that are best for the kind of writing that you really want to do. This unit is going to be all about that, all about how you can use writing to explore what matters to you. You're going to get really good at finding those topics and ideas that you truly care about. And you're going to get really good at turning a cool idea into a writing project, all on your own, without just relying on a teacher. You might write horror stories or superhero comic books or fan fiction. You might make a coffee table book or a manual or even start a novel. You might work on a song or on a poetry collection. You might work on a proposal for a club or an application for a program you want to apply for. It all starts with your notebook. So today I want to teach you that when writers commit to making their writing notebook a place of power, a place where they capture the significant stuff, they push themselves to collect a lot of different entries to explore what's most important to them. So, to get ready for this school year, I set a goal for myself that I wanted to commit to making my writer's notebook more important to me, more full of interesting ideas, more me. And so I started a brand new notebook for the year, and it's been exciting to see it start to fill up with what's on my mind. So I'm going to show you what I did in my notebook just yesterday. And can you watch me thinking, what is my teacher doing in this notebook that I could maybe try too? Then I'm going to ask you to make a list with your partner of those items. Be ready. So I started off in my notebook writing about the arrival of the new kitten. And I wrote it kind of like a story because the cat came on a day that we were not expecting him. So it was kind of a dramatic, suspenseful moment. Then I shifted to writing about this moment that we're in America, where we're going through this racial reckoning, where we're really talking about anti Black racism. And we're talking about creating a more just and fair society for all. That's something that's been on my mind a lot. And it saddens me a little bit that it took the death of several human beings for us to be even having this conversation. Another thing that I wrote about, well, I kind of started writing a short story. I was thinking about a story that a friend of mine told me about his first date, his first real date when he went to prom with a good friend of ours. And he was talking about how nervous he was. And I thought it would be really interesting to tell a story from his point of view. So I got inspired listening to him, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a piece of fiction. I've also been writing ideas down. I've been really inspired to start a blog, to really keep myself accountable for writing regularly. And I started thinking, what do I know? What can I write about? So I was thinking about maybe writing book reviews. And I came across this really cool website where this woman writes book reviews, and her site is called P.S. I Still Read You. And it was just kind of like inspiration for me as I'm thinking about it. I was also thinking about maybe writing more short stories on this blog or even talking about my travel experiences. And then I started to write a line of a poem that I'm still struggling to put into words. But I want you to, at this time, turn and talk with a partner and talk about what you observed as I'm going through and sharing some of the entries that I have in my writer's notebook.